Hi, welcome back to the Positive Prepper. So in 1978, Janet Parker was the last person to die from smallpox. And on May 8th of 1980, it was considered eradicated. So why am I bringing this up? Smallpox. It's gone, right? So in 2014, smallpox vials were found in the FDA building at the NIH Bethesda campus. The only places that the smallpox samples are supposed to be kept, there's some at the CDC in Atlanta, and there's some in, it's basically the equivalent of the Russian CDC. And they have a lab that has the remaining amount of known smallpox samples. And the reason that they kept those after it was eradicated was, you know, your typical studies and that type of thing, right? Well, okay, so in 2014, there were vials found in at the NIH. And then in yesterday, 5 vials were found in a Merck facility in Pennsylvania. Now, there's speculation as to whether this was leftover. You know, was it in an old freezer that Merck just never cleaned out? You know, kind of like your fridge at home where you got fungus growing in a bowl at the back of the fridge. Or not. In early, okay, so then in July 13th of 2018, the FDA approved TPOXX, that's TPOXX, to treat smallpox, because there was a concern that it was going to be used as a bioweapon. And it appears that that fear is growing. In early November of this year, Bill Gates, our favorite medical doctor, has warned of a smallpox terror attack. Convenient, I think. And now the United States, ever since the FDA approved this TPOXX in 2018, the United States has been purchasing this vaccine. And so, you know, there's a report, I think, from somewhere that the government recently, like within the last couple of weeks, secured $113 million worth of this vaccine from SIGA, S-I-G-A, that's the manufacturer, and it's the drug used to treat smallpox. And I haven't been able to verify exclusively a dollar amount within a recent time frame. Doesn't mean it's not there, but the point is that the United States, since 2018, has been buying smallpox vaccines, and supposedly we have enough for every man, woman, and child in the United States, although I'm not sure that they're counting the now how many millions of people that have come into the United States since then. So why am I bringing this up? Well, I'm bringing this up because anytime that the big BG gets involved in anything, it scares me. Because we know how his little fingers go out into just about every aspect of study to vaccine, testing, all of that kind of stuff. I'm just going to put this out there. I'm going to let you guys decide whether or not you think we should be concerned about this. I think it's another area in which to prepare. So, smallpox can be very, very deadly. I believe the statistic is 3 out of 10 people that get it die. And there's no absolute in this. Now, you also have to keep in mind, though, that the vaccine that was used to help eradicate it actually did its job. So I guess that's a good thing to say about that. But the problem with this T-pox is that they don't know if it actually works on people with a compromised immune system. My concern is that if you have taken the snake bite, that your immune system might be compromised, and then if this were to get released, does that put you more at risk? I don't know the answer to that. Okay, I'm just throwing this out there. But from a prepper standpoint, and in my opinion, this would be a real threat, unlike this last one. It will drastically, I think, change the way that you live, depending on your level of immunity from it. So I believe that if you were born, and please look it up, because I've been known to get dates and years wrong, but I believe if you were born before 1972, you were given the smallpox vaccine. After 1972, I don't believe that it was a mandatory vaccine. And so, your children, your grandchildren, yourself, whatever, if you were born after 1972, chances are you've not had that specific vaccine. So it's going to change the way that we live, and this is something I think in the prepping community we just have to be aware about. I'm not saying that all of a sudden in 2 weeks we're going to now have this smallpox pandemic. I'm not saying that. But it's another area you got to be concerned about, because if it did happen, you would most likely have to live off of the things that you have at your home right now, because you can bet that they're going to shut down the world. If this were to become a global thing, they would shut down the world. And if you thought, as I did, that the lockdowns and all of that were bad last year, this will end up being 10 times worse. So you need to prepare to live off the supplies that you have. So think about your medications. Start looking up some herbal remedies. And, herbal remedies aren't going to cure it, but they might help get people through it, because when you have smallpox, you have all those little blisters and those pussy things. There might be some herbal remedies that might help alleviate the symptoms. So start looking into that. Again, it's just prepping. It's being prepared. Anytime BG says something, it always gets the fur up on the back of my neck, because he has a lot of clout, if you will. And then make sure that you are able to live off your supplies at least through the winter. I would say at least 6 months worth of supplies. If not, as preppers, stack it to the rafters, stack it again. But you need to set a time frame that you would be able to fulfill and have those types of supplies on hand for that length of time. Okay? Because I think if this were to happen, if some Joe out there decided that they wanted to start this kind of a thing, wherever or whoever that came from, life as you know it right now, as abnormal as it already is, will become much more abnormal and much more difficult and challenging. There will be isolation. There will be closings. You're not going to want to leave your house. So you need to prepare for that. Is it going to happen for sure? I don't know. But like I said, anytime BG gets in there, it makes me nervous. So it's just something to be aware of. They found vials in 2014. Nothing happened. But I'm taking what was found yesterday and looking at the bigger picture, pulling that lens back and looking at the purchases by the United States government of the vaccines, as well as what was said in early November. And then the fact that the snake bite decreases the autoimmune system. Okay, you can follow that line. Just be aware of it. Don't freak out about it. I'm just trying to keep you guys up to date on what I see going on. And as preppers, this is just another thing to keep in the back of your mind. So keep the faith, though. Remember, God's got this. Have a great day. God bless.